Good evening. Happy Friday, everyone. Oh my God, my hair's sticking up. Here we go again. ah, sorry. I was finished up work because I work full time, and I went to donate blood and went to get Chinese food for the family. And hold on, now my browser's all messed up, and I had to wait there for 35 minutes, so I should have called them sooner. So sorry, I'm all out of whack. Charles, you're the first one to leave a comment. Hello from, well, I'm in Pennsylvania. You're in Georgia. Hi, Georgia. No, but thanks for being here, Charles. I appreciate you being here. Tin Man, you are from Erie. I will not forget that. RADJ, hey. Lizzie, how are you? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't do much today. I swamped with work and then I just donated blood. So I do know that obviously the shutdown is tonight at midnight. However, hopefully they will. I'm hoping, and I actually meant to set everything up. I wanted to get sorry, I want to pull up. There's a guy I follow on Twitter, and I just want to keep refreshing the page because okay, so this is what we're getting right now. This is what's happening with unemployment as lawmakers pass a 2-day extension of the government funding to buy more time to reach a relief package. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, just wanted to make sure we didn't get any crazy updates. Who knows? They could surprise us, right? And pass a bill at 11:59. Doubt it, right? But yeah, exactly. I haven't heard anything either. I don't think they've reached an agreement. Apparently, actually, for you Pennsylvania residents, apparently they had, from the quick research I did do, apparently everyone was good with the agreement. And then Republican Toomey, oh God, he's a Republican in Pennsylvania. It's not awful. I mean, it's awful that I can't remember his name. I think it's Toomey. Pushed back and kind of made them not agree anymore. So we can thank him. And of course, I'm sure there's other people that are holding it up as well. So the last I heard recently was now the Republicans are trying to phase out unemployment, whereas this morning unemployment was cut to 10 weeks. That would include PEUC and PUA, along with the $300 weekly boost. However, I just heard that, like I said, the Republicans are trying to phase out and shrink unemployment, which, as we know, ridiculous. Okay, yeah, REDJ seems like giving the update. So, Darnell, hey, thanks for being here. Bobby from Philly, hey. Please give me some good news. Oh man, Bobby, I don't have any. No, from what I've been researching. Obviously, it's not. It probably won't happen tonight. Hopefully, they can vote on something by Sunday. But yeah, we were hoping at least they could just agree on freaking something. So unfortunately, I don't have any news for you right now. Hopefully tomorrow. Mamie, hi. Thanks for being here. Steven, hi. Hi, Colorado. Steven. Okay, RADJ is giving the deets. Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Listen to a speech. Biden has an uphill climb with the Republicans. And I did get a little glimpse of that as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be harder for Biden to pass something next year because Republicans are just giving a lot of pushback. And again, I'm not playing sides or anything. That's just the reality of what we're dealing with. Mamie, go ahead and ask your question. in the chat. Stephen says they're voting to extend through the weekend. Yes, and let's hope they pass something, or at least agree on something, right? Charity, hey, how are you? Happy Friday. Stephen says the vote is happening within the hour. Let's hope it does. Best case scenario. Yeah, I think they adjourned at 5:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then or maybe they adjourned earlier and they're coming back at 5. I think they were adjourned at 5, and then hopefully I think they're coming back later tonight to also talk about it. But yeah, now they got to deal with the government shutdown bill, which is go crazy. Charity says they're voting on a 2-day extension of shutdown. It's just beyond me how last minute they're getting. According to Senator Wicker, they will have it done tomorrow morning. That would be awesome, and then we will all be celebrating. RADJ says a new roadblock emerged as Democrats on Friday accused Republicans. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm glad you said that. Pat Toomey, that's right, of Pennsylvania, seeking to hamstring the incoming Biden administration by cutting off Federal Reserve emergency lending facilities created by the CARES Act to protect the fragile economy. Yeah, and I did hear something about the Federal Reserve and stuff like that, and I thank you for clearing that up, because I heard something and I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. So thank you, RADJ, for clearing all that up. Onyx, I was told to upload my pay stubs to receive my payment. Is it true? So quite possibly, if you applied for PUA, you most likely would have to upload your pay stubs. Regular unemployment, I don't think you would need to do that, but definitely that sounds right if you have applied for PUA. Alexander says, I support Bernie Sanders. Bring that bill to the floor to find out who's going to vote no against the American people, the $1,200. Yeah, was that ever brought to the floor? I know that was supposed to happen today, but like I said, I apologize. My dog is trying to get in the office. I didn't have a chance to even look into that. I apologize. Not doing my job. Daniel says, when is the vote for the coronavirus relief bill? As Mitch McConnell says, they're on the 1-yard line. Hopefully this weekend. It's unbelievable. But I wish I had a concrete answer. Holy cow, you guys are commenting like crazy, which is good. RADJ says Democrats want to extend that authority into the new year, describing it as an important tool to respond in an economic crisis. Yes, and let's hope that, well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to be political. So Carl says, seems like they want to kick this down the road to see how Georgia turns out. Yes, I thought about that for a couple of minutes recently, and no matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, there's always a political agenda above the American citizens. That's my thought. Darnell corrected me by saying Pat. Thank you. Charity also corrected me by saying Pat. He's not running for re-election, so what does he care? Exactly. Finders keepers. See, I'm saying your name right today. Both parties are currently voting on what I should have for dinner. If it passes, Governor Newsom still has to approve, considering California has strict guidelines on what to eat, how we eat, and when. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, we're restricted to, as far as, well, I mean, can't eat in any restaurants. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, like guidelines on what to eat. I don't know. I think California, I know in LA they started closing down again. I'm not sure about the rest of the state. Lizzie says, "Oh, sweet Jesus, they went from 16 to 10 to nothing." And I'm sure they'll give something, right? Hopefully the Democrats are in the mindset of, you know what, let's just get something passed and then we'll kind of start over in the new year. That's my hope. That's what Biden was saying. Carmine says 8 weeks of unemployment will do nothing. I know. It's how they have no idea, right? Like the struggles that we're all going through. And I think someone commented on the channel at some point saying, you know, yeah, I want to see them live on unemployment for a week, right? Like they wouldn't be able to. Finally, Spice says, finally on Carolyn, Brooklyn. Don't know what that means. Mamie, hi. Lester says, if my 13 weeks of PEUC have run out, will I be eligible to get any assistance? So, Lester, great question. Can I ask what it depends on the state that you are in. So, let me actually review that very quickly. So, okay, PEUC. So, if you currently ran out right now, your state, depending on the state, could have extended benefits turned on, which means if the unemployment rate gets to a certain level, meaning it's high, then your state may participate in extended benefits, which could give you additional weeks of unemployment. So the states that are currently offering extended benefits, and once you run out, your state should notify you if you are eligible for this, or, you know, if you have to apply depending on the state. So again, Lester, I'm not sure what state you're in, so I'll just go over this real quick because I'm sure you're not the only one on PEUC. So if you're about to run out of PEUC and your state does offer extended benefits, you could you could qualify for that. So the states that are currently offering extended benefits, North Carolina, they're offering 6 weeks. The following states are offering, I don't know if offering is the right word, but we'll just go with it, 13 weeks of extended benefits, which would mean your unemployment would then be good, would be continuous for 13 weeks. But there's a caveat to that, which I'll get in a minute. So Alaska, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Louisiana, Mississippi, Minnesota, New Mexico, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, Texas, Washington State, Vermont, and the Virgin Islands. Now, these states offer 20 weeks of extended benefits. They are Delaware, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. So if you are in one of those states, then you should receive a notification about extended benefits. However, even though today those states offer extended benefits, if the unemployment rate drops to a certain point, then the state has every right to retract them. So you could get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you qualify for 13 weeks of extended benefits. And you're like, yay, that's awesome. But a week later, they could say, hey, by the way, our unemployment rate is getting better. So you're only approved for 1 more week now. Like they can retract that from you. In Pennsylvania, they do supposedly, they give you a 3 weeks notice, whereas places like Colorado, maybe Vermont, they literally told them like that day, or not that day, but like that week, like, hey, this is your last payment. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Now, if your state isn't participating in extended benefits right now, you could apply for PUA until it expires, which obviously is going to be a week from tomorrow. Isn't that nice? So, Lester, I hope that helps. Darnell says Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer fighting hard for us without a doubt. And Bernie Sanders, man, he's a feisty guy, so I'm hearing, which is great because at least someone is, right? Yeah, REDJ, game traders play, they are just not stopping. Yeah, exactly. Rose says, if it takes time to get the $300, will our regular unemployment still continue? So if it takes time to get the $300. So yeah, if you're on regular unemployment right now, that's still going to continue. Whatever program you are on, that's definitely still going to continue, obviously, unless you're on PEUC or PUA, because that does expire in a week. But the $300 would start paying out the beginning of January. So hopefully that answers your question. Nikki says, great job on your channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I try to stay up to date on the latest and greatest stuff without having to post a new video every 5 minutes. So, but thank you. I do appreciate the kind comment. Nathan says, when's it going to be passed? Hopefully this weekend. Maybe this weekend they can at least agree on something. And then we'll worry about the voting and stuff. But let's just get this signed, sealed, delivered before Christmas, which I think is the goal, hopefully. Anthony says, Brooklyn shouting you out. Hey, Brooklyn. Hey, Anthony. I mean, hi, Anthony from Brooklyn. Alexander says, that's why it's very important to get those 2 seats in Georgia. Yep, I agree with you more. Nikki says, what did I miss? What did you miss? Not much has changed since I did my video this morning. Except for the fact that Pat Toomey, I almost said his wrong name, he's a representative of Pennsylvania, wants to phase out unemployment. So apparently everything was good to go, except for he's pushing back on unemployment. So it's getting ridiculous. But yeah, hopefully we will get some positive news. Elsa, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Alexander says, go blue. In this case, yes, right? Let's give us give us what we deserve. Because you know what? It's like we didn't ask for this, right? Like we didn't ask to be unemployed. Claire says hi to everyone. Hey, Claire, thanks for being here. And hi, Diane. And thank you so much for your kind comment. I definitely appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys too. You guys rock. Jeremy says, hey, Kim. Hi, Jeremy. This all has been so emotionally taxing. When it's done, I'll feel such at ease not worrying about it for now anymore. Jeremy, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's stressful enough to have to look for a job, right? Number one, it's stressful enough to be laid off. Let's just start there. It's stressful enough to have to look for a job. It gets more stressful as time goes on because we're applying for jobs, hearing nothing, or, the whole finding a job is taxing, let alone not even knowing if we're going to be getting a check next week, right? Like, I'm with you. I will feel a million times better knowing that they signed something right now, so that PUA, PEUC doesn't lapse, and then people can just enjoy the holiday. Angie says, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. You remind me of young Melissa Etheridge. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've got Melissa Etheridge. I think I've got someone else and I can't remember her name, but thank you. I will take that as a compliment. Melinda says, same old BS going on. Lord help. Yep, you got it. Lester says, if my PEUC has expired, would I be eligible for this extension? Yeah, I mean, Lester, I believe my understanding, I mean, yes, right? So my understanding would be they're calling it an extension of PUA and PEUC. So that would lead me to believe that if you exhausted PEUC or PUA or it expired, then you would just get thrown back on it. Now, questions are coming up. Do you have to apply for it? What's the process around it? Unfortunately, I'm not sure yet. Obviously, those are definitely details that I will do my due diligence, do a lot of research, finding out. And I've said this before. Luckily, Pennsylvania is a really good state of communicating those details. So hopefully they will do that as well. I know sometimes they don't get the information right away from the federal government. It's only because they're waiting for them to give them the details of everything. So in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm hoping that's right because they know that 12 million Americans are going to be affected by the expiration of PEUC and PUA. So I'm assuming they would just continue on with that. Stephen says it was a 4-hour recess this afternoon and they're set to rejoin at 6 p.m. Okay, cool. Thank you for that clarification. And maybe we'll hear something. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. Alexander says it would be better to shut down the government. Then they will pass a bill because, yeah, they wouldn't get a paycheck like the American people who are not receiving the money. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be nice, right? But you know what? They could still live luxurious as they already do, even if they don't get one paycheck. But no, I know what you're saying because I'm sure that just the mental thought of them not getting paid would probably be enough to extend this thing. Ugh. The Getty is back. I haven't seen you in a while. My family and I need the stimulus check to move because we're all suffering from mold poisoning. And that's not the way I want to go down. Oh, that mold. Oof, the Getty. I am so sorry you have to deal with that on top of this because I'm allergic to mold and I know the headaches I get. So I can't even imagine what you're even going through right now. And I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. So yeah, and it's good that they added the stimulus check in because it's even if they pass the stimulus check as well as unemployment, it's going to take the states time to get their systems updated with the new requirements of the bill. So yeah, good luck with the move, the Getty, which would explain why I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. Elaine says, what happens if the end of December nothing passes? Do we have to refile in New York for unemployment? So yeah, obviously a lot of you probably filed for regular unemployment when this whole thing happened, which would be in March. Now, in the event that nothing happens, like Lester in your situation, I actually didn't mention this, but you probably don't have to worry about this for a while. But if you were laid off in March, we'll just say March 1st, just to make my brain it easier on my brain. Your claim is good for a year. So even though you might go on like regular unemployment, then PEUC, then extended benefits, your claim is still active for a year. So it would expire February 28th of 2021. Now, in the event that they don't pass anything ever, then what you could do and what I recommend you do is reapply for regular unemployment the day after your first unemployment claim expires. So I would literally, if your first claim expired February 28th, March 1st, I would reapply all over again. And yeah, that's what I would do. All right, DJ, they're finishing up their lobster bisque. That's funny. Yeah, Rose says Toomey is trying to sabotage Biden. God, everything is a political agenda with this. Like, that's what boggles my mind. I mean, I do respect the fact that they're totally backing their own party, that's cool. But the way that everything, like I said, is just so political. It's just, Louis says, go Democrats in January, get them 2 seats in Georgia. Yeah, this time around, without a doubt. Let's just get this. Let's get that over with. Nikki says, it amazes me this is still going on, right? Because if I don't do my job, I'm going to get fired, right? Like, what? Christopher says, what is the Fed Ed extension? Is that something we are on in California? Great question, Christopher. So I don't know if you were on, but when I was talking about extended benefits, so you're on regular unemployment, then you move on to PEUC, and then you move on to extended benefits. So California, their version of extended benefits is called Fed EDD or Fed Ed or whatever. So Fed Ed is extended benefits. Now, what I've learned from my friends in California, like Mike, and I haven't seen Mike on here yet. Just kidding, Mike, if you're not watching, it's all good. You, in order to receive Fed Ed, you're not automatically qualified for it. You have to, they do some kind of income calculation that I'm not familiar with. But if you're qualified, they would definitely let you know either way in the mail or email if you're qualified. But that comes after PEUC. Now, Fed Ed was paying 20 weeks of extended benefits, but unfortunately, recently they decreased it to 13 weeks. So for those of you in California that are like, yeah. So anyway, hopefully that clears that up. So you'd receive Fed Ed if qualified after you exhausted PEUC. Well, Americans receive more in tax refund in 2021 because of the pandemic. You know what? That's an excellent question because people, sorry, I'm scrolling because I lost my place in chat because you guys are freaking rock and are asking a lot of questions or making a lot of statements. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I haven't done much research on that, and I'm not sure if people are even talking about that. Like, not us people, but tax people. I don't know. Whoever makes these decisions. Well, I guess Congress would, right? If they would forgive any sort of taxes. But yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot of people, especially in the combination of unemployment running out. There's no retro. Sorry, let me just turn off my phone. There's no retro payment of the weekly boost. People, it's going to really hurt a lot of people, especially those that didn't take the 10% off the top. And if you did take the 10% off the top, chances are you might even still owe more money, which is going to be so painful. So who knows if maybe the government will forgive some of that, or maybe we can pay it back in payments or something. But yeah, I mean, that's, I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, it's going to hurt a lot of people. Brad says they should give us 10 grand for everyone. Forget about the stimulus checks and extended unemployment. Then another 10 grand in April. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, actually, Brad, you know what? That kind of makes sense. Although, like, if a family, like a couple, wasn't affected by the pandemic, should they get the 10 grand? You know what I mean? So then you have those crazy scenarios. Tin Man says, any news for the stimulus checks in Pennsylvania? You know what? I have not heard anything about that. I know a couple of people on the channel have mentioned that. Not that I've looked. It's been, I think I looked the other day for a couple minutes, but I don't have any news about that. If I remember, I will do some little research about that, but I haven't heard anything about that. Darnell, oh wait, sorry. Yeah, Diane says they love to stall, don't they? Yeah, they do. Elite says, is Illinois getting unemployment benefits, the extra $300? So if they decide to pass the bill, then no matter what state you live in and no matter what program you are on, as long as you are collecting some sort of unemployment, you would be eligible for that extra $300 a week. Darnell says, yes, and Bernie wants $600 for unemployment benefits. Oh, yeah. Darnell, I know what you're saying. So there was, wait, who was against? So yeah, Bernie wants everyone to get $600, whereas some people felt as though that if you're collecting unemployment, you're getting that $300 boost. Therefore, you shouldn't get that $600 stimulus check, which is so nuts. Breezy 007 says, give me the scoop. Oh my gosh. Scoop on exhausted POA. So they are still, can you believe that they still haven't agreed on this bill yet? So yeah, exhausted PUA, they're still looking at extending PUC and PUA for 10 weeks and the $300 a week. So that was this morning. Now, from what I'm hearing, the Republicans are pushing to decrease unemployment or maybe even phasing it out. I haven't heard specific details about that. Obviously, tonight and tomorrow morning, I'll do more research on that. But I don't know if it's to make up for the $600 stimulus check that they want to decrease the window of unemployment. But from what I've heard last specifically, it was extending unemployment for 10 weeks. But yeah, it could shrink by tonight. So yeah, hopefully they don't. Billy Bob, is it set in stone that we won't get 16 weeks? Yeah, now it's down to 10. And just like I said a couple minutes ago, they might do like a phase out approach, which whatever that means, who knows? Suzanne says, hey, Suzanne. Greetings from Massachusetts. My stepson lives in Boston. Thank you. I appreciate your straightforward approach to the facts. No, thank you. Without a doubt. Yeah, I'm only focused on unemployment and stimulus check, and anything else I'm pretty clueless on. But no, thank you. I do appreciate it because obviously the last thing I want to do is give the wrong information. Now, there could be a time that I do a video and 5 minutes later something changes. Because as we know, this stuff changes. But thank you, Suzanne. I really appreciate it. Elsa, I didn't have to show my pay stubs from POA. Hope that helps. Okay, cool. Yeah, Elsa. Yeah, I applied for, well, my husband had to apply for POA a while ago, and he didn't have to either. But it, everyone's situation's different. But no, that's helpful. Cat's Meow. Hope you're doing well. Just joining any update. So, yeah, I don't think I did a synopsis. I think I just went right into questions. So, first thing I see on my little note sheet is rental relief. Apparently, and again, this is, so there, obviously that expires at the end of the month, just like PUC and PUA. They're talking about, instead of the prohibiting evictions, they're talking about rental relief. So instead of saying to the landlord, you can't kick this person out, I think they're talking about giving people that need rental assistance, like giving them that application and they can apply for it, therefore receive money in order to pay rent. And it also would help for arrears and stuff like that. I got to get more details about the rental relief. But as far as unemployment, looking at extending PUC and PUA for 10 weeks starting beginning of January. And this was 16 weeks. Then it made it down to 13 weeks. Now it's down to 10 weeks. All because they put in a $600 stimulus check into the packet, into the bill that they're looking at. Now, on top of unemployment, we would receive $300 a week on top of the state benefits. So, if you're collecting $300 state benefits, then you'll collect that extra $300, making that $600 a week. I think that's pretty much the gist of. I feel like I'm leaving something out. Oh, and there's still. So there were some people that felt as though if you're collecting unemployment, you're already getting that $300 boost. Therefore, you should not receive a stimulus check. So, but I think, like I said, I did quick research before I got on here. I think that is like off the table. So I think as it stands now, everyone would get a stimulus check, but I'm hesitant in saying that because, we'll just say that that's kind of a possibility. Stephen says Congress needs to release the bill before they can vote on it. The deadline is tonight, but they may have to extend to Sunday, in which we won't know anything until then. Yeah, Stephen pretty much summed it up there. Lester says, if my PUC 13 weeks have exhausted, will I be eligible for the extension? Yeah, Lester, I think I already answered you. So yeah, it depends on the state that you're in. If they even offer the extended benefits. Does Louisiana, Kareem's asking, does Louisiana get the extension? Yeah, I think they do. Well, they would get extended benefits. I think Louisiana was on there. Yeah, Louisiana currently gets 13 weeks of extended benefits, but if you're referring to extending PUC and PUA in the new year, then they're looking to extend them for every state in the United States. So Elite says, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm caught up with everything. Is Illinois getting that weekly $300? So yeah, once the bill passes, if they do include the $300 a week, it would apply for every state, no matter what unemployment program you are collecting at the time. Rose says they are going to extend CR. I'm not sure what CR is. And again, it's Friday night. My brain is shot on Friday nights, so I do apologize. Charity says, finders, keepers, just go to the French Laundry. The Getty. Wait, did I already read this? Oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm just all out of whack. Okay, Melinda says, did you hear the numbers they were talking about polls on how people spend the money on the last stimulus? And they said the banks got the money the last time and didn't need it, but had it reserved. And you know what? That's another thing is, I know that especially the Republicans are hesitant in spending almost $1 trillion bill, but $600 billion of that money is left over from the CARES Act. Like, but you're right, Melinda. I did hear a little bit about that as well. There were different buckets of money that, like, not much was used from that particular bucket. So, yeah, it's crazy how, just crazy. Yeah, Rose says it's not set in stone about the 10 weeks. So, as of now, or at least as of this morning, it was 10 weeks. I just got an update before I came live, just hearing rumors, whatever, that they're using the 10 weeks as a bargaining thing. So hopefully it'll stay 10 weeks, but who the heck knows? Bethany, hey from Alabama. Hi, welcome. Oh, Lester, you are in West Virginia. Yeah, they are not offering extended benefits. So what you should do is apply for PUA once you exhaust your PEUC, and then hopefully they'll pass a bill and then we won't have to worry about this. But in any event, once your unemployment claim expires, which I'm assuming would be next year at some point, then you could definitely apply for regular unemployment. But hopefully we won't need to worry about that because a bill will pass. I don't want to say confidence because that is not the right word. I have hope. Spice, hey, thank you for being here. Mildred, yes. What do they mean by 8 weeks for the benefits? I thought it was 13 to 16. Mildred, it was. You are correct. It was 13 to 16. Now, as of earlier today, as of this morning, it was brought down to 10 weeks because they threw in the stimulus checks. So I guess they're using the weeks of unemployment to negotiate because they want to add the stimulus checks. Now you're saying it's 8 weeks. I haven't heard that, but it wouldn't be surprised if it is 8 weeks. Because I guess I didn't have a chance to do much research after I finished working today. So I hope it's not 8 weeks. I hope it's 10 and that's it. Louis, keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Nadia says, do you know anything about Michigan PUA if it runs out? So it would be the same as any other state once PUA runs out or it expires at the end of the year. Unfortunately, there's no other programs for PUA recipients to receive unless, and this is probably like a small hope, if you were a W-2 employee in the last year or year and a half, you could try to apply for regular unemployment once your PUA runs out or it expires. Might be a long shot, but I didn't want to not mention it because who knows, there might be one person out there that could qualify. And I don't want to not say that. Thank you, Stephen, for answering Lester, and you are correct. Oh, Spice says, finally made it on tonight. Love your show. Thank you. I appreciate it. Darnell says, awesome channel, awesome host, only on Lifetime. Oh my God, I used to watch Lifetime all the time. That is so funny. Yeah, Lester, West Virginia is not doing it. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, who would have thought, a year ago, it's like, who would have thought we'd be talking about unemployment on a Friday night? Like, who would have thought a year ago this is what we'd be doing? Oh my gosh. Hawk says, we're going cheap this Christmas for dinner. My bro-in-law had a hip replacement surgery. My sister asked me to cook 2 lasagnas and a big pot of soup. This is as if Cooper doesn't shut us down. I'm assuming if that's your governor. Yeah, Hawk, you know what? Lasagna is cool. Hopefully you can be with your brother-in-law and your sister because that's all that matters at this time. Especially, I think, if that's one thing that I know I've learned a lot more. And, I'm just thankful that at least my immediate family, like my kids, are home. But, it doesn't matter about the food as long as you're with the people that you want to be with. Um, that's awesome. Steven says, my state, Colorado, lost funding in November, so my benefits have been postponed. Okay, so Steven, you're in like the waiting tank, right? Yeah, and I think Colorado was one of the ones that pulled extended benefits out from under you guys, which is awful. Sandy says, Oklahoma took away extended benefits and canceled the $400 LWA the 16th, the day it was to pay. I don't know. You almost want to ask the person that actually made that decision. Like, I understand that there are laws that they have to follow and stuff like that. But so you're expecting this money and then all of a sudden it just stops. And you're like, and I think this is the thing that irritates me the most is they fail to realize that we're expecting this money to pay bills. So I got in the habit of not paying anything in advance because who knows if you're going to get paid, right? Like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Finders keepers, sorry for the sarcasm. It's all good. I strongly believe the verdict is in. However, they're deceiving us, make it seem extreme efforts are being made by both parties. They're making us enjoy. They enjoy making us suffer through the suspense. You know what? You're right. They could be popping champagne bottles, eating their caviar with their Chateaubriand. They could be doing all that while we're sitting here just. But now, sarcasm is totally cool. Drew says, I can't help but cry from all the lost weeks since July. And if we get nothing for those lost weeks, Pelosi did a really bad job. It's her fault, period. How can they still want her to be the leader? I agree with you. We could have had a $1.9 trillion package, which I don't even remember the details. I think it did have, well, I know Nancy's 2.2 did have $600. I'm sure the Republicans probably got that a little bit lower. But you're right. Let's face it. Nancy, although she kept saying, we're going to have a deal done next week. We're going to have it done next week. Oh my God, how many times did she say that? And as it got closer to election, she was just dangling the carrot for us, right? I knew it was a political reason of why she won compromise. I mean, my gosh, they were $300 or $400 billion difference, knowing that there was $600 billion left over from the CARES Act. Like, and again, I'm not Democrat, Republican. I don't care what you are. I'm not trying to. I'm talking about the individual person, not the party itself. Mitch, obviously, he's been tough to deal with too. But yeah, Nancy definitely did that for political reasons. Okay, so AG Shuttle, North Carolina. So everything applies, everything that I'm talking about as far as the extension for PUA and PUC does apply for every single state. North Carolina, I'm not sure specifically what you're asking, if you want specifics on that. So the extension for, I can't even remember what I just said. You can tell it's Friday night. PUC and PUA are looking to hopefully be extended for 10 weeks starting in January with $300 weekly boost on top of that. However, if you were talking about extended benefits, North Carolina is offering extended benefits for 6 weeks. But again, extended benefits can be taken away at any time in any state, depending on the unemployment rate. Nothing about Nebraska. No, Nebraska right now, it doesn't look like they are doing extended benefits. And then again, if you're on PUC, POA, it's what I just mentioned before. They're looking to extend that for 10 weeks next year. Yeah, the Getty. Does anyone know if Pennsylvania's getting a stimulus check? Charity, or I don't know if Kelly's on here. I don't know if Charity, if you've heard of anything, because you seem to be on top of Pennsylvania more so than me. Like the specifics. I don't know anything, but I promise you I will definitely do some research on that because obviously I'd be affected too. Charity Hawley, I keep saying that wrong, did ask for vote on stimulus, but was blocked since it had to be unanimous, said Sanders was supposed to try again later today. Thank you for clarifying that. I think someone did mention on the channel that they were going to try to vote on it today, and obviously you clarified that. Unbelievable. Colorado dropped. So Steven says Colorado dropped to 4.9% for a single day in November. So they lost all funding, even though we shot back up to 7%. That is ridiculous. That's not fair. That's unbelievable. That's just so not fair. Okay. Billy says, is it set in stone? We won't get the 16 weeks. It's not set in stone, but it's looking like we're only getting about 10 weeks, which I'm okay with because from what Biden says and the Democrats, this is a down payment until he gets into office. So hopefully that will stay true. Timothy says, I think Lester was asking if he would qualify for the extension. Oh, that may come if they pass a new bill. So yeah, thank you, Timothy. So yeah, until we know, that would be my understanding. If you've exhausted PUC and PUA, or if you're in the middle of it, of collecting, then since they're using the term extended, that would be my understanding. Then instead of you running out at the end of the month, you would just continue being on it. Now, if you exhausted PUC a month or 2 months ago, then I would hope that you would be able to continue on it. But now that I'm talking about it, I wonder if it would be a situation like this. If you are currently on PUC until the end of the year, maybe they'll just roll you on it. But it wouldn't surprise me if they make like a cutoff date. So maybe if you exhausted PUC August 1st, then you have to reapply for it. That wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that. But I wouldn't. But again, we won't know the details till the bills passed, as well as the states get the information from the government. And when they pass a bill, we'll only know like a broad details, right? Like we're only going to know, okay, unemployment's going to be for X amount of weeks. We're going to get an extra $300 boost. We'll just know the general stuff of the bill. The hard part is making sure that the government gives all those little scenarios. Well, what happens if you exhausted PUC over the summer? What happens if you're still on it? What happens if you were on PUC that went on PUA? Do you get back on PUA or do you go back on PUC? So yeah, it's those fun questions that I can't wait to figure out for everyone. Because it's not going to be easy. But I like doing this. I actually do like. My husband's probably very happy I have you guys to talk to about this, so I don't talk to him about it. Steven says stimulus checks would be national, all or nothing, and we wouldn't know until a bill is passed. Absolutely. Melinda says even if you apply for PUA, if funds are done, you get nothing. PUA in Kentucky's already ended. I keep forgetting that there are some states in Kentucky, or some states, that there are some states that have already expired PUA, which is really crazy. Yeah, and Charity says, I'm also with you on how refreshing it would be to not have to worry about this. Exactly. I'm not up on SSI, MLK, IO35. I'm not up on that information. I apologize. Oh, Patricia, thank you. I need to get out to California, obviously not now. But yeah, I would love to get out to California. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Will Vermont pay unemployment after December 26th? So Curtis, let's see, Vermont. So it depends. If you are on PEUC, and obviously they don't pass a bill, you could qualify for extended benefits in Vermont. However, if you're on PUA, unfortunately, once the program expires, that's going to be it, unless they pass a bill to extend it. Alexander says, you're giving out good information to American people. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm trying. Again, Friday nights, I'm like brain dead. And there are some days that I'm totally brain dead, and I rely on you guys to correct me, give me the right information. But thank you, because it's like, it's just a lot of information, right? But thank you. I do appreciate that compliment. Stephen says, Congress is debating raising it to 1,200. That would be awesome. And which maybe, since they're still negotiating, maybe that's the give and take, right? So maybe the Republicans want to push it to 1,200, and then the bargaining is decreasing unemployment, because I think a couple days ago, not regular, but PUC and PUA were going to be extended for 13 weeks, but then the $300 was only going to apply for 10 weeks. So that could definitely hold true. So that'd be cool. $1,200 plus 10 weeks unemployment for now is like a down payment. That'd be cool. Hawk says, I'm appealing my unemployment. They ruled against me because my supervisor set me up to get terminated. Another 6 weeks of waiting. That's right. I think you did mention that the other night. But it's just awesome. It's awful that you have to wait 6 weeks. Unbelievable. AJ says, so the people that's waiting on PUA and haven't received it by the deadline, will you still be able to get it? Yes. If you applied for it way back when and you get a letter saying that you're approved, then yeah, even though the program is expired, you will still get the back pay. Now, it's been a while since I heard anything. I know eventually that they're going to be like, okay, well, we're going to send PUA till March. If you don't apply, fully apply for PUA by some date in 2021, then you can't apply for it anymore. But because you already applied, and as long as you're approved, even if you, God forbid, don't get paid for a month or whatever, yeah, you'll totally get that money. And thanks for the likes on the videos, guys. I appreciate it. Robert Reed says, I received my benefits, but I only got paid for a week. I've checked everything and it's saying I'm okay, but I'm still concerned. Okay. You only got, okay. So you got paid for a week and then you keep filing biweekly, and all of a sudden it stops. So what they do, although if you're new to unemployment, so I guess the best thing to do is, unfortunately, and it's probably going to not be easy, is to contact the unemployment office. Either way, you're going to have to do that. What happened with us was, or my husband's claim was, I'm getting paid, everything's good to go. And then all of a sudden I stopped getting paid. And when I contacted them, apparently they review your claim every 3 months to make sure you were on the right program. So that happened. And the customer support rep took a look at our claim. They're like, okay, you're good to go. They released the funds, and then I got paid 2 days later. So it could be something like that. Like maybe they're re-reviewing your claim for some reason. It could be, hopefully it's not like an identity thing. But yeah, best thing to do is reach out to them to see what the heck is going on. Yeah, and Stephen confirmed. So thank you, Stephen, for replying to AJ. King Dom says, Bill Edwards of Louisiana got the $375 million for the $300 unemployment boost. Oh, so in Louisiana, you guys got $375 million, I guess, for the LWA, and you guys haven't received it? Ooh, that's not cool. If I'm interpreting that, that's really awful. Typically I end at 7, but if you guys are rocking and rolling. If you guys, holy cow, look at all those likes I just got. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, there's a lot of people on here, so I'll keep on going if you guys want to, because I can't even imagine how far behind I am on chat. Barbie, hey, I'm in Pennsylvania, so we're neighbors. Went to the Jersey Shore a couple times this year. Lester says, thank you for help. You are welcome. My place of work has closed due to COVID. I'm in West Virginia. We don't do extended. Are they talking extended PUA? Yes, Lester. So what I recommend to you, since you're done your PEUC, is definitely apply for PUA. And yes, they are definitely talking about extending PEUC and PUA, but you're actually in an interesting predicament because you exhausted your PEUC. And again, these are things I'm going to eventually find the answers to. If you're on PEUC and then you collect PUA for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden they extend both PEUC and PUA, it's like, do you go back to PEUC? Do you stay on PUA? And if you do apply for PUA, you might expect, depending on, again, everyone's situation, your PUA weekly payment might be less than what you're used to on PEUC, because you've had your last several quarters, you were living, you were collecting unemployment and you weren't getting a check from your job. So hopefully we would all go back on PEUC, because I think financially it's better for us, depending on the situation. But yeah, definitely apply for PUA when you get a chance. Amy says, you know how long it would take for Minnesota website to take get their systems updated with the new PUA info? I'm not sure specifically on Minnesota, nor any state for that matter. I know that Pennsylvania did a call with like reporters the other day, and I like to pop on just to see if they talk about anything that's useful, but they're prepared. Hopefully most states are prepared for the extension, because it will happen. I do trust that it will happen. As much as I hate to say this, it's definitely going to take a couple weeks. I would imagine. Because, not only do they have to update their systems, but most importantly, before they update their systems, they have to get the exact requirements from the federal government, which we know how painful it has been trying to wait for this bill, let alone for the states to get that information. Dalvin, hi. Thank you so much for all this information. You are welcome. I appreciate being here. And thank you very much for the comment. Your comment is appreciated, is what I meant to say. Woo. Okay. REDJ, Toomey called the issue his top priority on the phone with reporters, urging that the federal lending programs are designed to be temporary and cease operations no later than the end of 2020. See, it's things like this that make my blood boil because, oh my God, it's like we're so close, right? Yeah, Steven says, I'm wondering the same thing. Hopefully the bill is released tonight. We know the details, and then they vote on it tomorrow. Until then, no one knows specifics. Ingrid from Puerto Rico. Hey, I don't think I've had anyone from Puerto Rico yet, so welcome. Thanks for being here. Hawk says, if our governor shuts us down, we're screwed in North Carolina. We had the single highest number of cases in one day, over 8,776 cases in one day. He wants some government money. Unbelievable. Spice says, I sent out so many resumes. No one is hiring at all. I know. And it's so hard because it's like, when do you get to the point? Because obviously you're applying for jobs that's in your field, your area of expertise. So when do you get to the point that it's like to do something different, right? Like it's such a hard thing because you don't know. I mean, obviously we all want to go back to work, right? But then it's like you don't want to start somewhere that's not in your career, and then who knows, maybe you get an interview for something that is like it's so painfully stressful. Anit, I think it is. PUC ends on the 26th, so they will put you on Fed Ed unemployment automatically in California. So when they exhaust PUC, do they put you back on? So sorry. When PUC expires, do they put you back on PUC? That would be my thinking. Again, it could be wishful thinking, because that would be beneficial for us. That's what I'm thinking. Because if you're on Fed Ed, I don't know, or they might let you. Well, no, they probably would put you back on PUC. I would imagine. I don't know until we get those details. I keep going back and forth. I keep talking myself out of the other answer until we get the details. I'm not sure, but I'm very curious myself, and I would definitely get that answer for you guys. Dexter says, so the people who pay money into the system, are they getting extended? Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, so Dexter, maybe you're asking that about the $300 extra, maybe? Hopefully you're asking about that. So no matter what, if they do pass the bill, PUA is extended, PEUC is extended, everyone that is collecting some sort of unemployment would also receive that extra $300 a week if they pass the bill. Hopefully I answered your question. I apologize if I didn't. Jazz says, what about Georgia? Georgia is the same for PUC and PUA, meaning hopefully they'll extend it for 10 weeks. If you're asking about extended benefits, which comes after PEUC, then Georgia is paying 13 weeks. So hopefully I answered that question in Georgia. Joe says, hi from New York. Hey, thanks for being here. And Mano, I'm just going to call you Mano for short, also from New York. Hey. Crystal says, if I'm on unemployment and got one payment left, what program will I go on next? So, Crystal, your next program would be PEUC. Now, after you exhaust your regular unemployment, you should get notification in the mail and or email of, if you're approved, if you have to apply, which I'm assuming you probably don't have to apply, but hopefully you're automatically approved and you're good to go. Unfortunately, that program does end at the end of the month. So we're all anxiously waiting to see if they pass this bill. It's so funny because I think it was like Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, yesterday. There weren't many people on here, but Friday nights, man, there are a lot of people that show up, which is funny. Everyone's probably has their beverage of choice. Hanging out, talking about unemployment. Sandy says, PUC ends at Oklahoma, 12/26. So with no news on an extension, I will use the last 2 payments to pay my bills. So no groceries, gifts under the tree, Christmas Day dinner. I know, Sandy, and I think that's the worst part of all of this. I just wanted to make sure that they weren't participating in extended benefits, and yeah, it doesn't look like that they are. Yeah, and that's the things that Congress doesn't seem to understand, right? Is like we have to almost plan to not get paid, and if we get paid, it's like a bonus, right? Because you definitely don't want to pay bills ahead of time in the event that you don't get paid, and that's what makes it so freaking stressful, especially around this time. So I'm confident though that they will pass something before Christmas, but then it gets sticky because then we have to wait till their systems actually update, which is going to take some time as well. Busy, but I'm supposed to call you Chris. I hope I remember that, but if I don't, I will apologize, or I apologize now. Yeah, Stephen, awesome. And thank you for replying to people, Stephen. I do appreciate it. PEUC and PUA expires 12/26, so they need to pass this bill for any benefits to get extended. Yes, absolutely. Daniel says, I need help. I'm living in a tent. Okay, it's winter and I'm desperate, need of help. Been walking 10 miles a day, look for work, and I can't find a job. Again, I mean, this is the reality, obviously, of some people, and it's just awful. It's just absolutely awful what they're doing to us, and having us wait for this is just unbelievable. Keith says, if PEUC is $300 for 16 weeks, can buy and change that retro to January or February. So, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. A part of me almost wonders that, like, because if we're up to Biden, supposedly, and the Democrats, they would have done the extra $300 boost back to the summer. Like, we would have gotten that retro pay. It'll be interesting to see if Biden still goes through with that. I guess he can, not him, but I guess Congress can do whatever the heck they want. Meaning, I guess they could pass a bill and make it retro from the summer in February, right? I mean, as long as they get people to agree upon it. It's just, hopefully, wouldn't that be nice though? Oh my gosh, that would help so many people. Lizzie says, Biden won't be able to pass any bill, even if he wanted to, between McConnell and all those Republicans that don't want to help the people in need. Yes, you are correct in that we'd have to deal with McConnell. Um, something that would help if those 2 Georgia seats wind up being Democrats. Obviously, that would definitely be a big push. But again, I don't want this to be about, Democrats versus Republicans. It's just, unfortunately, the reality is Democrats want to spend money, Republicans don't. And I know that now the Republicans are saying, I forget his name. Maybe it is Toomey. Maybe he said it too. But, the more money we put out now, the more it's going to hurt our kids, because our kids will be the ones paying for it. But it's like, well, if we don't get this money now, then those kids that you're thinking of in the future may not have much of a future, right? Like, oh God, it's just so irritating. Diana, you don't know who to believe anymore, right? Exactly. And obviously I've probably been saying a lot about Republicans and how they don't want to do a big package or whatever. But then on the flip side, there's Nancy. She had $1.9 trillion in her hands and didn't take it, so it goes both ways. I'm trying to be neutral in all this craziness. Yeah, Alexander, they need to get over it. They lost. It's time to move forward. American people can't just sit back and wait for them to salt their wounds when we are out here suffering. Yeah, no, exactly. Oh God, they just have no idea. And Stephen says to Daniel, I'm deeply saddened to hear that, friend. This pandemic is pushing people onto the streets in record numbers. Take shelter where you can, and hopefully something is passed by Sunday. Yeah, and I think that's, I love doing this channel, and shoot, I just lost where I was. I love doing this channel and hopefully helping you guys. But that's the thing that really hurts me the most is hearing stories like that. It's just, it's not easy. And sorry, I totally lost my spot, but what caught my eye was Dominique saying that she lost her business due to COVID, which is, I'm sure a lot of you are in this situation. You lost your business that you've been working so hard for, only to lose your business is unbelievable. Sorry, I totally lost my spot. Probably go to about 7:30 or so. I gave blood earlier and I'm feeling a little woo. It's a combination of that and talking. I'm not used to talking so much. Sorry guys, I totally lost where I was. Yeah, RADJ. Yeah, totally. Look out for the crash when people are homeless. Wiley says, no bill tonight. Government shutdown. No need to try to pass another government shutdown. Stimulus makes no sense. We're screwed. Unbelievable. Norman says, my screen is out of focus. Is it? Sorry. If it is, I apologize. I'll work on it this weekend. And I know I'm totally, there are so many, oh my gosh, there are so many comments here. I see Kevin is on. Hey, Kevin. Okay. There's no news out right now that nothing's going to get passed this weekend, probably going to next week. Kevin says probably not signed into law till sometime next week. Thank you for that update. Obviously, we haven't been checking because we've been chatting about unemployment. Oh, Kathy L. Yeah, you bring up a good point, and I do apologize if I skip your question. Or obviously, I'm not going to get through all of these, unfortunately. I do apologize, or Kathy L. So she had a statement about, do you receive the extra $300 weekly boost if you are making less than $100 a week? Now, I did hear that they were trying to put that in the bill. So if you make less than $100 a week on unemployment, then you would not get that weekly boost. However, I believe that's off the table. I believe that they took that off the bill, the last I heard. But again, I haven't checked probably since, lunchtime, and we know anything could happen. So yeah. Hopefully that would not happen, and because that would not. If anyone needs the money, it's them, right? Yvonne says, "Love the chats. Thank you. I appreciate it." Yvonne, I'm sorry. Sorry guys, I'm really getting spacey. Giving blood just really takes a lot out of me. If you guys are cool, again, I'm going to end this in a couple of minutes because I guess I need to eat something. But we could totally, I might jump on tomorrow if you guys want to do this, because I know that I totally out of whack on my chat, and I do apologize for that. But thank you again, Stephen, for helping me out by replying to people. I do appreciate it. So does Jersey City get onto the extension? So Jeff, PEUC and PUA, or for anyone asking regarding the PUA and PEUC extension, as of earlier today, they're looking to still extend that for 10 weeks. Since we've been on this live chat, people have been saying that it could be only for 8 weeks. So obviously I'll get information on that and let you guys know, keep you updated. Right now, the extra $300, no matter what unemployment program that you are on, you would collect that. Again, that is on top of whatever you're collecting for regular unemployment, whether it's regular unemployment, PEUC, PUA, or extended benefits, you would be receiving $300 on top of that. As of earlier, they were still talking about a $600 stimulus check for all adults, and adult dependents would also be receiving a check, which is great. Someone on the chat mentioned something about $1,200. So again, they're still negotiating all these details. So hopefully, I'm sure a lot of requests were specifically about like what was going on. So that's it at a high level. Something I'm looking at right now is about Virginia. So not sure specifically what you are asking about Virginia, but obviously what I just mentioned applies to every state, including Virginia. And that was Nassar. But if you're asking specifically for extended benefits, unfortunately, Virginia is not doing extended benefits. Extended benefits comes after PEUC, in case you were interested. Oh, and then, yeah, Stephen's asking for you to clarify as well. Okay, Wanda's saying, I know we won't get retroactive payments, but what if it is approved for January, but we want to get it for about 2 weeks? Hold on. Let me read this to myself. But we want to get it for okay. I think I know what you're saying, Wanda. So what if they do decide to extend PUA, PEUC, as well as the $300 payments? What happens if the states don't get their systems updated right away? Would we still get the back pay starting in January, even though the systems may not get their systems updated, or the states? You can tell I'm getting a little wonky. The states don't get their systems updated till February 1st. Would you get that back pay? And yeah, absolutely. As long as you are approved for that unemployment, they would definitely pay you retroactively. Pamela says, Americans pay taxes on our money. Thank you, Pelosi, for hating Trump and holding up our money, which is exactly what happened, if you ask me. And I think she's actually admitted it. All right, guys, I'm sorry to do this. I'm going to read one more about New Jersey. Glenn says, Bill, whatever the number is, in New Jersey passed, and Governor Murphy was signed, which entitles PUA claimants 8 additional weeks from January 1st through February. Oh, interesting. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, let me do some research on that because I hadn't heard that. I'm actually copying your message. So, because I want to check that out. So yeah, thank you for that information, Glenn. That's good info to know. So yeah, if you are currently living in New Jersey, apparently Governor Murphy passed a bill extending PUA in the event that a bill doesn't pass. So let's hope that if a bill doesn't pass nationwide, then maybe states will be able to do their own thing, just like New Jersey did. That's pretty amazing. And I have to say this, Norman says, I love lasagna and I love Italian food. I second that motion. All right, guys, I apologize. I have to do this. I got to get off here. But thank you guys very much. If I didn't get your question, I do apologize. I'll probably come on tomorrow. Let me know in the comments below this video what time preference you guys have, if there is a time preference. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. Happy Friday. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, I do apologize if I didn't get to your question and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your time and I will see you tomorrow.